Fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody which doesn't infringe copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
We gon' do it for the land without a blemish. Looks right, beats. He is the land without blemish. Wicked shepherds pretend to be Yahoo Best repentant, condemn ready upon the morrow. Cash your care cause he knows your wants and your sorrows. Read the word and speak the word. Let me finish this off. Nah, read what you got.
Ezekiel 34:2. Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
Do what up?
Prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
No, go prophesy against the so-called white man.
No, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
Thus saith the Lord, bro.
Prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord, power unto the shepherds. Woe be to the shepherds of Israel.
Woe be to the shepherds of Israel, man. That meaning destruction, man. All right? Remember, they're going to be part of that lake.
So go ahead and read that again.
And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face.
And that was it. What he saw was the actual ship. So go ahead and read that again.
And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face.
And that was it. What he saw was the actual ship. Go ahead.
And his face was as it were the sun.
Now what does it mean, his face? Meaning that light that came out of the ship. So his face was as it was the sun. So when you look straight up in the sun, you can't look at the sun too long. Because of the bright, you go blinded, man. Yeah. Yep. So that was a light that came out of the ship. Go ahead.
And his feet as pillars of fire.
And those feet represent landing parts. Right. And those feet represent landing parts. Right. And those feet represent landing parts. Right.
लूनर मॉड्यूल के भी 2 स्टेज या 2 पार्ट थे। पहला डिसेंट स्टेज और दूसरा
Go ahead.
And he had in his hand a little book open. And
so he had like a what do you call that? It was like a
mechanical,
like a mechanical hand or something to that effect. Right. To give, because he landed, and he gave him the book. He told him to eat the book. Right. Go ahead.
And he set his right foot upon the sea.
And he set one part on the sea. Go ahead.
And his left foot on the earth.
And the other part on the earth. So that's when the ship landed. Go ahead.
लूनर मॉड्यूल के भी 2 स्टेज या 2 पार्ट थे। पहला डिसेंट स्टेज और दूसरा
Want Exodus first?
Yeah, go to Exodus.
Exodus 13 and 21. And the Lord went before them by day.
By the Israelites. And the mixed multitude. Go ahead.
By day
so we can keep vocab happy. What about the mixed multitude? Go ahead.
By day in a pillar of a cloud, to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire.
So what was that? When you look into it, that was that gigantic UFO. So what was that? When you look into it, that was that gigantic UFO. It could have been 25 miles in diameter. It could have been 25 miles in diameter. Because there was no light in the wilderness. So The Most High led him in the wilderness for 40 years. So this was a so-called UFO, as they call it, that never had to go to the gas station to gas up.
And all this, which you out of context with that, okay?
So this was a so-called UFO, as they call it, that never had to go to the gas station to gas up.
Well.
It was just up in the sky, man. In the daytime, it was a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. That represents the light that came out of the ship so they could see at night.
This lesson on the cloud, the pillar of cloud by day, and the fire and the pillar of fire by night, right? This is what this lesson's gonna be on today. All right, so let's just get right into the scriptures and break it down, because the burden of proof is going to be on you after this lesson is over to prove those boxes of metal that you call UFOs, that the scriptures is really dealing with that. So we're going to see through these precepts if that's true or not. So if we're going off, then produce your evidence. But I warn you though, don't go to Google and just Google a bunch of images of UFOs, because you're going to be looking at Esau's creation. That's why when you see UFOs, Roswell, they crashing here, they crashing there, that's how you know it's Esau. The Lord would not have a vessel to crash.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not gonna happen.
I was on my way, but I crashed.
You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna happen. So all right, let's start off at Psalm 68 and 32.
Sing unto the Most High, ye kingdoms of the earth. O sing praises unto the Lord, Salah. To him that rideth upon the heavens of heavens, which were of old. Lo, he doth send out his voice, and that a mighty voice.
Right, the voice of the Lord, that mighty voice. You listening to it in the background. Okay, go ahead.
Ascribe ye strength unto the Most High. His excellency is over Israel, and his strength is in the clouds.
His strength is in the clouds, which the word cloud is what you always see. Let's go into that word. This is what you always see when you're dealing with scriptures, which y'all like to say, well, One West likes to say that this is a UFO. Alright? Now the word cloud, sky, heaven, small dust, fine dust, cloud. See what I'm saying? Vapor, the firmament. See, none of this has to do with a UFO, a metal circle, okay?
Flying saucer.
A flying saucer. Because I'm gonna tell you something, right? Now when you see this, I got caps all on it. When you see these pictures and stuff like this, and you say this is this is how the angels travel, and this is how the Lord traveled, and all this. That's not what the scriptures say. See, this right here was started back in One West by one of the 7 elders named Kazak. He's the one, and Yeshaya. They say those are the ones that came up with this doctrine of the UFO, and we just all ran with it.
They even make fun of them and talk about they even make fun of them to this day. A lot of Israel makes fun of them because of that, weird science type of doctrine with the UFOs. He's talking about what he said, angels having sex with some type of stuff, man.
Now watch this.
Well, that's if you pay enough.
Your boy Yeshaya. Hold on, let me see if I can find a picture. Now Yeshaya was on Sinetta TV, and come on, man. There we go, right here. Now check it out. Look what he got on his head at the UFO. And he got the Egyptian sun disk right above it, see? Yeah. But he got them UFOs, see? That will show you that they was deep into that. Now I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of this came from 2 places, right? A man named Eric Von Daniken. There we go. This guy, okay, who came up with this book called Chariot of the Gods, right? Now he tried to say that the UFOs are the chariots of the gods. This mix between, so this whole theology came from this guy and from this guy.
And the thing is, that was pushed all through Hollywood and everything. You know what I mean?
Right. This guy too. See, he was the one. He popularized this theory because he dealing with the blacks. Like he took the scriptures that tell you about how the angels are black and YAHAWASHI is black. See, he took that and took it to a whole nother level. See, he took it to where all the black gods in space and this and that with the UFOs. Yeah. See, he took it way far because he was trying to get a certain crowd. He was trying to get the same crowd that goes to watch Lord of the Rings.
George Clinton. What about George Clinton?
I'm getting there, bro. That's right. That's right.
What are those called? Those Comic-Con events?
The same Comic-Con crowd, right? He trying to attract the Comic-Cons so he can have his own little space theology. And they can be all attracted. Oh, see, in space, we're gonna,
they got shows out about
that's
that.
That's all they tried. That's all he did. And then, like the brother said, George Clinton. Now, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic was big fans.
Yeah. Yeah, into that stuff too.
They were big fans of Malachi York. George Clinton was especially. So then you see, this is where all this come from. See, this was back in the late 70s. Mm-hmm. So these guys were jamming and grooving to George Clinton, getting high one day and like, man, the UFOs in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because they just got too amped up. Because this was going on back then. This was the hype back then. That's why George Clinton was able to capitalize off of this with the mothership connection and all this. This is a stage prop and everything. Because he was taking the people who was into that Malachi York, and he was taking them there, and he even had comics and everything dealing with that. He had that Cosmic Slop back in the 80s. And see, George Clinton, actually, we didn't touch on this back in GMS, but George Clinton is actually trying to portray YAHAWASHI. See, when you listen to the songs, he's actually portraying himself as YAHAWASHI. When you listen to the song Mothership Connection. So I'm bringing all that up just to back up the point of where the UFO doctrine came from within Israel. So now
it goes back even further from when you go into the scriptures and talk about you don't worship anything in the stars and the heavens and the oceans and the below and on the earth. Anything is similar to, because that's all that it goes into that. Those other nations did that.
And you've heard me say this before. I'm going to say it again. To quote Sherlock Holmes, don't use theories to twist facts. You should be using facts to twist your theories. And what happened here was the theory that the chariots could be UFOs was introduced, and it began to twist the facts.
Right, because you don't see UFOs in the scriptures. Now, you can extrapolate from certain scriptures and say that's a UFO, but then you're extrapolating, and number two, you're acting as if you've seen a UFO live in your face to say that this is the truth. A lot of you guys in Israel, you get too caught up on what you see in the sky. You see a light at night. That's a chariot, huh? Everything's not a chariot. Okay? You realize they do see, like you'll notice a plane. A plane goes by at night and it's got lights on it, different colored lights on it. And then you see it going, so you say, oh, that could be a plane. But then you see something moving real slow. And it's got a light on it. You say, see, that's moving too slow. That's a chariot. That's a UFO. Don't you know they got drones and different things in the skies at night that move slow? Blimps. They got blimps and different things with lights on it. Balloons, weather balloons, and all kind of stuff.
Weather things.
And a lot of those things have to move slow. Even the little satellites and things they got, they have to move slow to capture footage and all that. And they got lights on them. You guys just going way too far with that.
And even let's say that thing you saw darting around in the sky, let's say that was an angel of the Lord, but he's not riding in a hunk of metal. He's probably just in his own spirit. It's just a man surrounded by light darting around in the sky.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we're not saying that chariots are not like this. Actually, what the scripture's talking about as chariots, the spirits that go to and fro and do the bidding of the Lord. We understand those, but there's a difference between what the world has taken from that ancient knowledge and portrayed to be sci-fi fiction, meaning they're widening, like you say, hunks of metals and Cadillac spaceships and stuff like that.
Well, even like the manipulation, like when I showed you that thing about that guy and them, doing the exorcist, or he's a psychologist at these universities. And he's a well-known psychologist, and he says that these demons are real. Okay, demon possession is real, and they smart as hell. Okay, so you got Esau, and you got just man in general, be messing with these demons throughout their whole history. Yep. And these demons are giving them information and teaching them how to do shit, you know what I mean?
Ancient information.
Yeah.
That's what
they run it with, is the fool mankind.
Ancient information.
Now check this out, right?
Well, the whole thing with deception, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Now check this out. See, this is your flying saucer right here. Now, what does it look like? It looks like a wheel or a circle within a circle. See, because you got this first circle right here, then you got this second circle right here. You know, which now think about this is shit.
As I said before, stay away from these Hebrew Israelites. Stay away from these cults. Stay away from these Hebraite cult leaders. They wish to do you no good. They only wish to do you harm, cause chaos, cause disease, and in most cases, people, cause death.
As you can see the title, it's the 40th episode. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. You have to keep repeating this because you guys still like drinking that damn Kool-Aid. It ain't doing nothing for your body. No.
As I said before, stay away from these Hebrew Israelites. Stay away from these cults. Stay away from these Hebraite cult leaders. They wish to do you no good. They only wish to do you harm, cause chaos, cause disease, and in most cases, people,